Well, good evening, folks.
Yebo_1071 said woohoo. Good evening, Mereak.
Hey, Jubo, how are you? Crossroads. You know, I haven't gone up this way.
Yebo_1071 said good. You?
Good, I enjoyed the parts of your stream that I watched today. Thanks for all the plugs, by the way.
Yebo_1071 said LOL, you are welcome and thank you.
That's a one more for me.
Yebo_1071 said how's Cindy's recovery?
Good. We had a little scare yesterday. Her blood pressure went way up when she was in PT, and she got numbness in her legs and felt nauseous. So they sent us to the hospital because those are signs that she could be having a blood clot. But it wound up just being high blood pressure, which she normally doesn't suffer from, but they put her on a small pill,
That is all you've got?
you know, just to knock it down, and it was good today. So that's a good thing. Everyone's being cautious. The number one cause of death with this type of surgery is blood clot, so everyone watches out for that.
Yebo_1071 said I'm glad she's better. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. We
I see prayer.
got to spend the day in the hospital, and I'm glad now that that's over. Alright, I wanted to put down but yeah, she's doing good. She's not in bad pain. She's walking with a cane and trying to drive me nuts. Her sister's over now because I leave in the morning to go to Vermont for my goddaughter's wedding, so... Well, our goddaughter's wedding, except she's not coming.
Axbeardxii said only trying.
Only
Yebo_1071 said oh girl time lol.
Yeah, they're gonna be causing some stuff. Oh, I don't see the YouTube chat. I hear it, but I don't see it coming up. I wonder if my thing logged out again.
Axbeardxii said only trying to drive you nuts.
Oh, well, she's really good at it after all these years, so it doesn't. Yeah, like I tell her sometimes she's driving me crazy, and she's like, "It's a short drive." I logged out.
Yebo_1071 said I can switch to Twitch.
No, no.
I was just here when the notification came in.
It's all good. It's all good. You know how sometimes it logs you out of StreamerBot? Now I gotta remember where that is. Okay, I see Xbeard's on Twitch and Juvo's on
Yebo_1071 said besides the cool kid is over here lol.
It's working now. Alright.
Yebo_1071 said I'll do both lol.
No, it's all good. What do we got here?
Axbeardxii said cool kid? Where?
I gotta download a different voice. Gotta mix it up a little bit. Someone the other day was telling me they have all kinds of voices now.
Yebo_1071 said right behind you lololololol. Yubbo_1071 said I've got a building that pretty much the only parts of the second and third stories left are the columns on the corners.
Really?
Axebeard XIII said evicted with extreme prejudice.
Well, they are orcs. So was it one of your buildings, Jubo, that only has the... Or was it a repair building that you were repairing?
Yubbo_1071 said no, it's one of those delivery buildings.
Oh. I think most of those are eventually destroyable.
Yubbo_1071 said it's a pretty cool combination of buildings. All but one are in stone and different types of buildings, so it looks like a legit city.
Oh, that's cool.
Axebeard XIII said there was discussion in the Discord today about people having issues with quick platforms falling apart when attached to dirt plugs or ore.
Well, if you don't seat them right, but by the time I clicked, I could tell I didn't seat it right. I haven't really experienced in a long time the, I mean a long time, I'm talking version 1.1 where, you know, a platform would be green and then all of a sudden when you're on it turn red and you fall to your death. That was an old and very not cool bug. I didn't dig that all out. I thought I dug that all out. Weird.
Axebeard XIII said not like a new bug but a known issue. I said they weren't aiming high enough with their pickaxes. Face with tears of joy.
Oh, that's likely true. Yep. That would be my bet.
Yebo_1071 said 100%. Runaway Bootstrap Gun 14V said best viewers on streamboo.com, remove the space, at XR4 Abib.
See, that'll stay now. I was hoping for another Forge Talk soon. I was hoping the next release would be, they said the end of, well, they said summer. And summer ends in August, right? Well, September, I guess, technically.
AxeBeardXIII said my prediction is DLC late August/early September and title update/paid expansion in October for Duriness Day.
Yeah, I bet you're right. Well, yeah, but you figured they'd schedule, I guess if you're gonna do it. So if you're gonna do August, late August, September, early September, I guess we still have another 2-3 weeks before a you know, conference call or whatever.
AxeBeardXIII said Forge Talk the Friday before DLC drops.
Is it always the Friday before? Never like 2 weeks before? I thought the last one was closer to 2 weeks before, but I could be wrong.
AxeBeardXIII said I think it's the week before. I could be wrong too.
Can't do it this week, but next week, remind me if we're on, I'll load up the, what do you call it, and show you the, some of the stuff. It looks really cool. I particularly like the great hearth that they built. It looks like the bottom part of this, but open top, like a long Viking great hearth. I think I'm going to use it a lot more, to be honest, than this one.
Axbeard XII said, oh, like a Viking long fire?
Yeah, but it's fancier. It looks cool. It's got serious cool factor. Tobichiru and I found it, and then he was looking through my list of things that I found that I'd like to build. Because I spent a couple of days just in the background going through those files and finding things, and there's a elven furniture set. And we were talking, I wonder, and I loaded, you know how I saved the game, so I have all the...
Axbeard XII said nice. The
So
long fires we brainstormed on stream that time look good, but they're a pain in the ass to make.
Yeah, I'm sure that's where they got the inspiration. We had a whole series of videos with us showing off different long fires. Anyway, that's okay. I'm all for that. But anyway, we were searching through the files and we found an entire set of elven furniture. And I went back through my old versions of the game. You know how I've saved the game since 1.1 on? Anyway, those elven pieces of furniture have been around for quite a while, since 1.2. And we were wondering if they were planning on doing an elven DLC. And by the way, it does not look like the elven chair. It looks like a completely different, fancier set. And there's a dresser, a table, a chair. There's like 4 or 5 pieces. It's pretty neat. There's just so much in the game that they never seem to really release or do anything with. A lot of it made the art book.
Axbeard XII said elf furniture?
Yeah.
Sounds flimsy.
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
It has a... I mean... I agree it's flimsy, but... My wife saw it and she's like, oh, I want that. That's really pretty.
You can whistle clear and they'll guide you back.
Another time.
Axbeard XII said, who am I kidding? I'll buy it. And I'll use it. Face with tears of joy.
It's not under the same... See, all the DLCs are separated. So you can see every DLC and all the materials associated with them, including all the meshes that make up the objects and all the objects themselves. And the meshes make up the graphics, right? And but they're all separated. They're under a DLC directory. Nice and organized. Let me see if... I'll put a picture in my Mereak Firmaxe channel in the general. Hold on. Where'd it go? Copy image. So if you guys are looking at my channel's general chat, here's the dresser.
Yebo_1071 said bummer. The family is calling, so gotta go watch TV with them. I'd rather stay and listen to you guys, lol.
Nah, we're just shooting the shit. TV with family. What are you watching? Anything good? Personally, my wife and I are waiting.
Yebo_1071 said the Americans Season 4.
The Americans. Alright. Not one my wife and I watch. We're waiting for Wednesday Addams to start, or Wednesday. I think it's going to be starting here shortly.
Yebo_1071 said ah cool. Yebo_1071 said 1 LOVE that pick BTW.
I love that. Oh, the pick? Yeah, that's the dresser as part of the set. There's an entire set of furniture like that. Same theme.
AxeBeardXIII said the dresser looks good.
So I was wondering, why didn't they use that? And because it was, you know, you figure you pay for all those models, right? And
Yebo_1071 said, but Axe is right. The legs do look like they'd break pretty easy, lol.
yeah, they do look flimsy. But maybe they'll do an elf pack. Since the elves are abandoning their homes and going sailing west.
Yebo_1071 said seriously gotta go now.
Alright,
I'll
have a
leave
good
you
one.
on lurk and watch later.
It's all good. You figured they'd have all their stuff lying around. Someone's gonna take it.
Yebo_1071 said, and that was aimed at me, not you. LOL, I have trouble leaving cool stuff.
It's all good.
ZETA1127 said Forge Talk 10 was Friday, June 6 before the Orc Hunter Pack /1.5.2 was released on Tuesday, June 10th.
Well, there you go.
AxeBeardXIII said it looks good, but it doesn't really match the vibe of everything else. Perhaps that's why they left it out.
Maybe. But remember, the Elven Quarter at one point, before Durin said no one can go in here anymore, was a small enclave of elves, right? Wasn't there one point where a group of elves, was it Moria, or was it somewhere else where a group of elves lived with the dwarves a while? Now that's gonna bug me all night. Hold on. I gotta look it up. Oh. In Tolkien's writing.
AxeBeardXIII said, I think the Elven Conclave goes with Moria, but I'm not sure.
Elves and dwarves did live and work together in specific periods, most notably the Second Age in the region of Aragorn near Khazad-dûm. Alright, so it was. Noldorn elves of Eregion, particularly Gwaith, Meridian, Guildmaster Craftsman, Celebrimbor. Second Age 750 to 1697. Thank God for search. Alright.
Quiet. I see prey ahead.
AxeBeardXIII said I think if they would have used the elf furniture in the EQ they would have needed different building for that area too. Not the same buildings we see through the rest of Moria.
You know, that's a good point. Best be grateful then, because that would mean another group of things I wouldn't be able to repair.
Hum-daddy-o-day-o, you can whisk so clear and they'll guide you back. Hum-daddy-o-day-o, hum-daddy-o-do. And once you know how the ditty goes, hum-daddy-o-do, means that the
AxeBeardXIII said that's true.
The words.
What's up?
AxeBeardXIII said I think I may have talked Lionheart into adding a version of Builder's Epic Backpack to the next version of the community warehouse.
I saw that. And he's thinking about doing a section for non-mod people. That's very nice. Though between you and I think if I would have...
AxeBeardXIII said yes. All good stuff.
Yeah, I think if I would have started with a Xbox or something and then played as long as I have, I would have gotten a PC by now. Thank God I started with a PC.
AxeBeardXIII said 100% that's what Guy did. face with tears of joy.
I think he added a couple new furnishings the other day. Or maybe I don't have the right...
Axbeard said, well, Guy got tired of having to share the TV with the rest of the family, so he bought the game on Steam. Which ultimately led to him upgrading his PC.
That makes sense.
ZETA1127 said Hazadum and Eregion were friends before the rings were made. Definitely the inspiration for the Elven Quarter. Around that time Galadriel and Sealborn traveled through Hazadum to Lothlorien.
That's what I was remembering. That was the Second Age, right?
ZETA1127 said yes.
My memory's not completely shot yet. Alright, where are we? We are first level. Third stair. Third stair. First level. 218F.
AxbeardXIII said Toby Ichiro just posted a pic of the nest with the rock portion sunk into an adamant barricade.
Yeah, I saw that. I commented on it. I don't think oh, it is in the metal. It is in the barricade. Oh, good. I just absorbed what else you said. Oh, I gotta go look at that. If you can embed it, then it's fine. Right.
AxbeardXIII said it looks good.
Yeah, because if you're going to create a shelf to put a bunch of nests and stuff on, just make it out of adamant and put them on there and embed them and call it a day. I actually like the idea of creating a little aviary with the natural stone and the birds come and nest there. Of course, if I remember the Moria book,
AxbeardXIII said, oh, I'm making a chicken coop with nesting boxes.
yeah,
Face with tears of joy.
I would. The original Ice Crown Games book for Moria which was a sanctioned thing by Tolkien's estate. That role-playing game was based on the Rollmaster role-playing game, which was numerically intensive to say the least, but it was published here in Virginia. And I knew some of the guys that worked there, and the Moria book in particular was one that I loved for obvious reasons. And they had outlined that there were birds in Moria, and there were several kinds including some that were dangerous. They also had different types of fish that live in the waters of Moria. Which I was surprised they didn't put fishing in the game.
Axbeard said fish and birds make sense to me. I understand why people have a hard time with birds, but the caverns of Moria are plenty spacious enough to support birds.
Yeah, and there was a set of near blind birds, if I remember right. You know, they'd fly in and get trapped, I guess. I asked John Paul once, I think it was John Paul, who was the one of the lead developers, if they used that book, and they basically said, of course.
Axbeard said makes sense. Blind fish makes sense too. And crabs. And catfish.
They had cave bears in that book. And a whole section on nameless things if you went too deep.
Axbeard said I'll bet they made cave bear rugs too. Unamused face.
Did you ask for the sign? I would do that soon. Send the graphics and say, reminder, we'd really like to see this sign.
Axbeard said I need to. I'll try to timber after I finish setting up the smoker.
Oh, you're smoking something? What are you smoking? Beef, pork?
Axbeard XIII said pork butts, pulled pork, to feed some volunteers tomorrow.
Nice. Who doesn't like a good pork butt?
Axbeard XIII said I do love it, but I rarely eat it when I'm making it. Face with tears of joy.
Why?
Jake's Art Corner said hello.
Hello.
Axbeard XIII said because I usually put some sausage on the smoker with it. The sausage gets done first and by the time the pork is done, I'm not hungry. Face with tears of joy.
Okay. That's a real reason. Question is, what kind of sausage? That reminds me, Axbeard, when you said you'd take a trip down to one of the Carolinas or whatever, I thought about it, but if you're gonna do that, we should think about
Jake's Art
meeting
Corner
up.
said at Axbeard XIII I need a bigger smoker. Axbeard XIII said usually some kind of rope sausage. Typically a bit spicy.
Cool.
Axbeard XIII said I go to Alabama for the sausage. But I'm trying to find a closer source. Hoping for Kentucky or Tennessee.
I'm not that far away from Tennessee.
Axbeardxii said we could get together for some whiskey and food.
Yeah, I mean, if you go there, we can coordinate. I'll get down to Tennessee area if you can find one down there, or Kentucky. That's Kentucky's a little farther, depending on where in Kentucky. That'd be great. I don't find myself out in your neck of the woods too often, probably like you don't find yourself near Virginia.
Axbeardxii said isn't one of the big gaming conventions near you? Origins maybe?
Origins is in Ohio. Columbus. Now that I go to, I haven't gone the last 2 years because of my wife's surgeries. But normally I do go to that one. In fact, my wife likes going to that one more than I do sometimes. So if you ever want to go to Origins in Columbus, Ohio, I'd definitely meet you there.
Axbeardxii said I'd make that trip.
Oh, cool. Well, it happens in June. You gotta book it. They don't open it up till 8 months in advance. So sometime around October.
Axbeardxii said Battlehammer would probably join me.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. I think Ohio's closer to you anyway. But in October they open it up so you can book hotels and stuff like that. Let's see. Yeah, Origins is the Game Manufacturer Association of America's convention. Not so much video games, but you know, role-playing book games, board games, miniature games. They have had computer games in the past, it's just not as popular there. I think they have another group now. Originally it was all games, but I think the video game people broke off. Became such a big business in and of itself. Man, Westgate in this seems bigger to me than normal. Well, first level, including Westgate. Maybe not.
Till Durin wakes from sleep.
Oh.
Axbeard XIII said, where in Virginia are you? Near Norfolk?
Yeah, I'm in Northern Virginia. I'm not going to say the city, but I will text it to you. Before I forget, let me do that. But I'm basically outside, about 40 miles outside, 50 miles outside DC, Washington, DC. There you go.
Axbeard XIII said, I'm 8 hours from Columbus. Looks like you're a bit closer to Columbus than me.
Yeah, I'm about 6, 7 hours. Not a lot. And when you're traveling, well, if you're traveling with my wife, guaranteed to, I mean, she likes, if she's driving, she never wants to stop. But if you're driving, she definitely wants to stop. Which I'm too old to do that. I'm going to get in the car and not let my foot off the
Axbeard
gas till I run out
said,
of gas.
LOL.
You know, so I'm too old for that crap. I'm like, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm not going to hold it till my eyeballs float in the back of my head. Not interested. I gotta get that pedestal too, before I forget.
We got orcs. That is all you've got?
Axbeard XIII said I stop about every 3 hours for a stretch break. Fuel up, bathroom and move around a bit. If I go to a convention I'll likely bring a small entourage, Battlehammer and my boys. Wife won't be interested. Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat.
Well, I think if they like role-playing or board games or miniature games at all, they'd have a blast. I mean, I've never gone and said that was a waste of time and money, ever. I'm part of a group that runs an ongoing Star Wars adventure that's been going on since, what? Like 94. It's part of a group called Game Base 7, and they run the adventures called Sparks, and I GM for them. But I won't be busy the entire time, particularly if I know you're going. The trick is to get signed up for what you want. You pay for the... Oh, damn. Didn't mean to do that. Stop about every 3 hours. Oh, I heard a ding, but it didn't say anything. I don't know if you can see this yet, but you see this pedestal that I'm looking at right next to the broken railing? Toby Chiru found this pedestal not only in the game, but it also had an icon like it was meant to be buildable. Oh, why can't... Oh, your 16-year-old is out camping playing D&D. Cool. I don't know why it didn't read that out loud. Did display it though. Cool. Yeah, you gotta sign up for the games early is the only thing. So as soon as you gotta know what you want to play, you gotta sign up. And because they only have so many seats for GMs, and though most games don't charge you to play them, there are a few groups that do, but most of it is included in the price of the ticket to go to the convention.
Axbeard XIII said he added that pedestal to the mod. I updated last night and saw it.
Oh, I must have missed the update then. I got the one before that. Cool. I'll have to download the new one. I told him I'm all packed and ready to go tomorrow morning. When I get back, I'll make more icons. He sent me a new file, which, I mean, he's much more practiced at Blender and all that than I am. I just started. But he figured out how to get the lighting the same, and so now I've got to redo those videos. I was halfway done publishing them, and he's like, "Oh, I changed it." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." that's alright. I've learned a lot. I'm now comfortable roaming around the files and finding things and creating them and the references and everything else, so.
AxeBeardXIII said he fixed the mod, but then I didn't have old build pieces. He fixed it again yesterday and now everything works.
Cool. I don't want to be near a building with this thing.
That's one more for me.
Get out of my way. I'm just gonna build.
AxeBeardXIII said I'll talk to my crew about Origins and let you know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If they have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I went for a number of years without my wife, with my friends, and then my wife is like, I want to go. I'm like, okay. And even she really liked it. She's like, wow, that was a lot of fun. I got to try a whole bunch of stuff and meet other people like me. In fact, my son's quote the first time I brought him to Origins was, wow, these people are all just like me. I'm not different here. Because, you know, he's a little bit of a geek too. And so he's like, always felt different. And then you go to a convention like that and you're like everybody else. And it's not as busy as Gen Con, at least not any time I ever went. I stopped going to Gen Con because it just got too crazy.
AxeBeardXIII said it's good when we find out people.
Yeah.
AxeBeardXIII said our.
And generally people are friendly. I don't play in competitive games. Some of the people that just go to play in competitive games can be a little jerks.
AxeBeardXIII said I've been threatening to go to Gary Con.
Haven't been to Gary Con. Is that also where Gen Con is? Yeah, the only ones I've been to were Origins a lot and Gen Con a handful of times before I gave up on it.
Axbeard XIII said Gen Con used to be in Lake Geneva, WI. Now it's in Indy. Gary Con is in Lake Geneva, home of the Godfather.
Oh, so that's what they did. I've been to Gen Con in both cities. Uh, the olden days and a more modern one in the late 90s, early 2000s. But I didn't know where they put Gary Con. Makes sense. Smaller, because I'll tell you, when it was in Lake Geneva, it was a zoo, and then it grew too big. I mean, it was just literally too big, and they moved it, but then it outgrew Indy too.
There's something out there.
Axbeard XIII said I hear Gary Con is what Gen Con used to be. More cozy.
Cozy is not what I would use to describe Gen Con back in Lake Geneva. Crowded with people wall to wall? Yes. Everything was in short supply. I started carrying, this is no joke, after my first trip to Gen Con, I would always go to conventions with MREs because there were literally times I could not find food. They'd open up food, you know, these food vendors, and they'd be sold out of food in like a half hour. It was literally crazy.
Axbeard XIII said I know it outgrew Lake Geneva quickly.
Yeah.
Axbeard XIII said I won't go to Gen Con, too many horror stories.
Oh no, don't. At Origins, at least last few years I've been there, very doable. Yeah, very doable. Well worth the trip.
Axbeard XIII said how many days is Origins?
It starts. I think you do setup on a Thursday if you're with a group. Friday afternoon is the first games. It goes, or is it Thursday? Wednesday setup. I think no, Wednesday setup. Thursday, Friday, Saturday are all the games, and then Sunday is like a half day cleanup, pack up, leave. They don't take down the materials. You can look at what they did this year if you go to their site.
Axbeard XIII said I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's cool time.
Till Doran wakes from sleep.
Axbeard XIII said I'm off for a bit of family time. Thanks
Have
for
a
the
good
chat.
one. Happy
Best
to.
wishes to you, Cindy and your goddaughter.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be back in a couple of days. I'll be back on Tuesday. Well, Monday night really late, but I'll talk to you then, man. Have a good one.
If you lose your way and your torch goes black, hum-daddy-o-day-o, you can whistle clear and they'll guide you back. Hum-daddy-o-day-o, hum-daddy-o-do. And once you know how the ditty goes, hum-daddy-o-do, means that the oaken door with the raven crest, you can sing for your supper and a good night's rest. Hum-daddy-o-day-o, hum-daddy-o-do.
Ho ho! Now dig! got orcs.
Get 'em, lads!
Ha! This one's done in.
Shotty!
Well, folks, I hope you have a good one. I got to get on a plane before dawn tomorrow, so hope you all have a good evening. Bye bye.